Another NFC game that has pretty big implications. And another theme we are talking about in this, an ACL tear. No Micah Parsons in this
Yeah.
Packers-Bears rematch from 2 weeks ago. Okay, what do we got here? Because I mean, that was a lot of points that they put up against that Denver offense or Denver defense, excuse me. And it took, I mean, I wasn't expecting, I don't know, there was like 70 points in that game. Like I wasn't expecting this kind of output. It was in the 60s, like a crazy number from them. Who wins this game? What are you looking for? Obviously, you know, this is the number one team in terms of interceptions for the Bears. What do we got in store for us?
Well, man, Micah's their closer. You know, he's their closer, and Jeff Hafley's going to get in his bag, which I have full confidence in my guy Jeff Hafley. I don't think the Packers are done by any means, because they're coached so well and they have good players. But Micah was this team's closer, so that's a huge. When you can't tap your Mariano Rivera to come in and close the game out, you got to do it a different way. So all hands on deck there when you lose a superstar player like that. I've been on the Patriots and we lost Gronk. Was like, yo, we don't lose when Gronk plays. Like, I literally think we're undefeated when Gronk plays. And we had to find ways to win without Gronk, and it had to look differently. But there was definitely that feeling of like, yo, when Gronk plays, we win every time. And I think that's the effect that Micah kind of has in that locker room. And they've been a good team without Micah previously, right? But he was obviously that like cherry on the top this year for them. And then look at the Bears. Well coached, continue to find ways. Um, it's going to come down to who can make whose quarterback more uncomfortable. And the Bears can pick the ball off. We always talk about Jordan Love's got to take care of the football, play from ahead, which they kind of got behind there at the end and they couldn't pull off the 2-minute drive. And that's hard against the number one defense. So this is a good we always say litmus test, but this is a good legitimacy test for the Bears, right? This is a good because I think the Packers are legitimate. And I don't know, you're gonna have more numbers than me, but I kind of just like interested to see it. I could sell the heck out the game, but they gotta show up. Both these teams gotta show up. The Bears got a huge or the Packers got hit in the mouth huge with the Micah injury. So that can either truly emotionally drain your locker room or it can make you rally. And I think people gotta understand that they're not always gonna say that on TV today. They're gonna say, "Oh, well, Micah's gone, now what?" But I think you can rally sometimes in people's absences. So I think the Bears are in for a big test. I think it's a big test for the Bears.
I agree. The numbers I'm looking at in this game really have to do with you often in these division rivalries get a little bit of a bump having a weird change. And this is a weird change, especially when you play in such close proximity. Now they would have had more answers for Micah Parsons. Now they don't know. It's not like they're going to be like, hey, Rashawn Gary is just going to step in and take this entire role. So the reality is if they can keep the looks weird, and we've seen Caleb Williams for as well as he's played this season and as few sacks he's taken compared to last season, he doesn't have a great passer rating. He's just not taking sacks. It's not necessarily that he's dicing up defenses. So all they have to do is protect the deep play. Get at least the numbers say that the smartest path for the Packers defenses to just do the thing that they've been doing all season long, and that's not allow these big plays, explosive plays. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get after Caleb Williams. I mean, you saw Myles Garrett got after Caleb Williams. It didn't really matter, but they had some deep plays to counteract that. On other times, it was home run or striking out. It wasn't anything in between. And now you have a team in the defense of the Packers where they don't allow those home runs. And so perhaps he'll get a few more completed passes. Perhaps we'll see shorter stuff working a little bit better. But the deep plays are really the factor in this one is what the numbers at least show.
Yeah, and I think like just in general, like a lot of older veteran quarterbacks, like say Matt Stafford, we said, hey, they're willing to run the ball every time. They're willing to complete it to Puka Nakua, screens,
Yep.
move the chains. Like Matt Stafford, they can operate that way. Younger quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, still a younger quarterback, he needs the big play. He needs the excitement. He needs kind of that, like, make him operate short. Let him see how long he can do that. Let him see how committed he can get. You know, it's kind of like keep jabbing him, keep using your jab. Let's see what he does to it, right? And I think that is just a natural thing when you play a younger quarterback is like, let's see how long he can operate this offense. We're not going to give him the big one. We give him the big one. That can lead to belief. That can give him 50 yards a pop. Make him take the small ones, right? and death by a thousand cuts. And a lot of young guys just don't stick with that consistently. And that's a big growth step you need to take in the NFL. When you play some of these older guys, like when I had to play Breeze and Brady and Manning, oh my God, they will check down, nickel and dime you the entire game and slowly beat you by 50 points that way. So you had to then start setting blitzes, and we got to make them speed it up. It's too easy for him. I think you make Caleb Williams, make it easy for him. See how long he can stay patient. And that's knowing Jeff Hafley, I think that's kind of a game plan that he might come out there with.
If you had to put a range for where Jordan Love ranks in terms of quarterbacks in this league, where would you put Jordan Love?
To me, he's
Range. Doesn't need to be like
yeah, he's in the upper middle. He's not in my opinion, and that can probably get clipped and ran with. I don't really
no, no,
know.
no. I'm not
But
looking for clickbait because that's not it. I just mean like if
yeah.
you like to me, you talk about some of those other names with the nickel and diamond stuff. Like it feels like Jordan Love sometimes doesn't take the easier path. It feels like, and he has the same sort of. I mean, a Matt Lafleur offense is a Sean McVay offense. It is a San Francisco Niners offense. Like it's not a like it just to me that those he doesn't necessarily take those things that are higher probability as often as the offensive game plan might dictate. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'd I'd put it like this, like, I play with Purdy, right, in this offense, similar. I love Purdy, and if you don't play with Purdy, you might not rank Purdy as an upper echelon quarterback or whatnot, but he's not Matthew Stafford right now, he's not a Hall of Famer. Matthew Stafford's a Hall of Famer, like,
Of
he's
course.
probably the most unappreciated like, playing against this dude, he is a dog since the Lions days. So people probably ain't gonna have Purdy ranked top 10 or top 5 or like, right? And that's how I feel about Jordan Love. It's like, okay, he's not my top 5 or top 10, but if you play with him, the guys love him and you're gonna rally for him. It's the same way I feel about Purdy. Like you got to be around him to realize how good he is. That's probably how Jordan Love is, right? And I think he's solid. He's good. He can beat you, but I'm not thinking he can take the game over on me like a Matthew Stafford can or these Hall of Famers can. Even a Dak can. I hold Dak in high light. I always had, even when he was losing playoff games, you're like, "Oh, Dak's trash." I'm like, "No, he's not." He literally does the whole game with the line of scrimmage. Like playing against Dak, he is the key to that offense. And is Jordan Love doing that for them? Or is he handing the ball to Josh Jacobs? Or is he kind of having great play calls? He is, but I'm not around him enough to know what he's truly doing. So I would put him in that, middle echelon of good promising quarterbacks, but it's a different step from the other guys I'm talking about.